Episode 10. A funeral and a wedding. Four days later, there was a funeral at Canterville Chase. The funeral started at 11 o'clock at night. Beautiful black horses pulled black funeral carriages. Inside one of the carriages was a black coffin with a purple cloth on top of it. The servants walked beside the carriages with lighted torches. It was an amazing sight. Lord Canterville travelled from Wales for the funeral. He sat in the first carriage with Virginia. Mr. and Mrs. Otis were in the next carriage, and Washington and the twins were behind them in the third carriage. Mrs. Umney was in the last carriage. She had spent 50 years in the house with the ghost, and he had frightened her many times. She wanted to be there to say goodbye to him. They buried Sir Simon in the churchyard. Virginia put some flowers on his grave, and her eyes filled with tears.
"Goodbye, Sir Simon,"
she said. The next morning, before Lord Canterville left Canterville Chase, Mr. Otis asked him to take the jewels.
"The jewels belong to your family,"
he said.
"They are worth a lot of money, so you must take them. However, Virginia wants to keep the box. Can I give it to her?"
Lord Canterville smiled and shook his head.
"The jewels are Virginia's,"
he said.
"Sir Simon wanted her to have them, and she must keep them. After all, we don't want the ghost to come back."
So Virginia kept the jewels and wore them when she married the Duke of Cheshire a few years later. She became the Duchess of Cheshire, and she was very happy. The Duke and the Duchess loved each other very much. After their honeymoon, they travelled to Canterville Chase to visit Virginia's parents. They stopped at the churchyard on the way, and Virginia put fresh flowers on Sir Simon's grave.
"What happened when you were with the ghost?"
asked the Duke.
"I can't tell you, my dear Cecil.
Said Virginia.
Please don't ask me."
The Duke smiled.
"You can keep your secret,
he said,
as long as I have your love."
"You always have my love, Cecil."
said Virginia.
"Good.
Said Cecil.
Then perhaps one day you can tell your secret to our children."
Virginia smiled and took the Duke's hand. They walked happily towards Canterville Chase.